Hola, buenos dias a todos. Hello, good morning again to everyone. This is Julio, your Spanish teacher for this Spanish language conversational course. Now, for this part, we're going to learn about verbs or mega verbs, always used in Spanish as a locomotive or a starting verb to complete a sentence. And remember this, in any language, people are always talking about three things. We have desire, what you want to do, ability, what you can do, and obligation, what you have to do. And these are the verbs that we will be studying. Here we can see querer in infinitive form. This is desire, to want, and 5 different forms. We have yo quiero, this is first person. Tú quieres, second person, present. All of these are in present form. Él, ella, usted quiere, third person singular. Ellos, ellas, ustedes quieren. And we have collective or a mixed group. This is nosotros queremos. And in Spanish conversation, there is a rule that if the speaker already knows who the subject is, it is generally acceptable to omit the subject pronoun. That's why here on our example, I want to confirm the reservation right now. We don't put yo quiero. Instead, we just omit it and continue with our complete sentence. Quiero confirmar la reservación ahora mismo. So this is acceptable in Spanish conversation. And this is approximately 80 to 90% use all the time. Sometimes you can see subject pronouns most on written exams just to convey its clarity, but again, in a real life situation, it is generally omitted or accepted to not include the subject pronoun. Okay, and also we can see here that we apply the cognate tricks that we have learned from the previous parts, which is ATION ending in English can be translated into Spanish by just replacing T with C and put an accent mark on O and change the way we pronounce it in a Spanish way. So from reservation, it becomes reservación. Okay? Quiero confirmar la reservación ahora mismo. Next, we have poder. This is ability or to be able to or to be. We have yo puedo, tú puedes, él, ella, usted puede, ellos, ellas, ustedes pueden, nosotros podemos. For our example, can you verify the information? Yes, no problem. So the two here in our English example, just pardon me for this, it must not be here. And for Spanish translation, ¿puedes verificar la información? Sí, no hay problema. Notice that it is a question sentence. So in any question sentence, all you need to do is to put a inverted question mark or the punctuation mark at front of the sentence and change your tone how you say it. And since it is a question sentence, your tone must also be a question. ¿Puedes verificar la información? Sí, no hay problema. And also we applied the cognate tricks we have learned from verify. Okay, we can see that it can be translated as verification. So since we can see that it ends with TION, we can also translate it to become a Spanish verb. That's why we come up with verificar. And the same with information, it becomes información. And just again, pardon me with this, I forgot to put accent mark on O here, on información. Okay, but remember, in every ION or TION Spanish verb, there must always be accent mark on O. Okay? Remember that. For the third mega verb, we have tener. This is obligation, to convey, in order to, or to have. We have tengo or yo tengo, tú tienes, él, ella, usted tiene, ellos, ellas, ustedes tienen, nosotros tenemos. And notice we have que also here. This is an idiomatic expression in Espanol. There is no exact equivalent in English. Sometimes it works as which, that, to, it depends. And que is usually placed between tener and the infinitive. It precedes, or verbs, it precedes, to work as a complementizer, just to convey that something is an obligation. Okay, so we have example, they have to appreciate the opportunity from the university. Tienen que apreciar la oportunidad de la universidad. So we can see opportunity, ITY ending. To translate it into Spanish, all we need to do is to replace it with IDAD. The same thing with university. That's why we come up with opportunity to oportunidad, university to universidad. So let's read again. Tienen que apreciar la oportunidad de la universidad. Okay, even the appreciate, we apply the cognitrix we have learned from previous parts. So we see how cognitrix we have learned from the first part is very useful on this conversational construction sentences we have. And here we have ir, present, in present tense or presente. This is to plan, to do or move, or to go in English. We have yo voy, tú vas, él, ella, usted va, ellos, ellas, ustedes van, nosotros vamos. And in this part, voy, vas, va, van, vamos could mean I go or I am going, you go or you are going, he go or she go, or he or she is going, or we are going or we go, something like that. Depends on the context. So here we have I am going to the store to buy foods and water. Voy a la tienda a comprar comidas y agua. Voy a la tienda a comprar comidas y agua. And we also have the past tense of ir, which is fue, fueste, fue, fueron, fuimos. This is also the same plan, to do or move or to go. So yo fue, tú fuiste, él, ella, usted fue, ellos, ellas, ustedes fueron, nosotros fuimos. And in the sentence we have, where did you go on Monday? A sentence, a question sentence again. I went to the party and enjoyed. ¿A dónde fuiste el lunes? Fue a la fiesta y disfruta. And we put a here before donde. This is a personal a in Espanol, just to convey that you're relating the sentence or the context to a personal being. So, ¿a dónde fuiste el lunes? Fue a la fiesta y disfruta. Okay, so that's all. I hope you learned something from it, and just to practice what you have learned in an actual setting. from your own words list in Espanol. Make 10 sentences on each, applying desire, querer, ability, poder, obligation, tener, motion or to go, both in simple present and simple past tense, which is fue, or ir, in its infinitive form. Total of 40 sentences in Espanol. Por ejemplo, can you help me carry the books on the table, please? ¿Puedes ayudarme a llevar los libros en la mesa, por favor? Yes, I want to help you organize the books. Sí, quiero ayudarte a organizar los libros. Okay? And then, don't forget to record yourself reading the sentences you have created thrice. So this is all for your own benefit. So that's all. Muchas gracias. Nos vemos. Adiós.